All right.
Okay.
Start at the beginning. How do you know John?
How do I know John? I was his counselor at Boy Scout camp.
If I was going to describe John as someone in the beer industry who didn't know who he was, I would have to assume they hadn't been in the beer industry very long.
He's one of those guys that's been in the business for a number of years and stayed in it. So he is a real pioneer in our industry, and he's an innovator. I met John when he was working for the McMenamins brothers.
Well, he just came in for an interview one day. We needed some help, and so we were in the early stages of complete meltdown, so we were looking for some help, and he happened to come in, and there you go.
I think when people think about what craft beer is about, I think it really comes down to who are the guys that laid the foundation.
We're all standing on the shoulders of giants, and John's shoulders is one of those shoulders we're all standing on.
Well, everyone kind of knew him because, he was John Harris. He had developed Terminator Stout at McMenamins, and he had done Blackfeet Porter and Muir Pond at Deschutes. It's like he's an important guy in the industry.
To make those beers and then have them, it drove the direction of the industry.
And then when you start throwing those beers out there that he created, like Muir Pond and Black Butte and Jubilee, and you mentioned his history with McMenamins, and it's pretty iconic. I think Muir Pond was a game changer.
And it was really the first dark beer that became super popular, and just the quality of his brewing made it very, very easy to not be afraid of the dark.
In my opinion, John is the only Oregon brewer to win the only award in the industry that matters, which is the Russell Scherer Award, which is an award given out once a year by the Brewers Association, the National Trade Group. That is an award for innovation in the brewing industry given out by other brewers. This is the award for you actually had an impact on the industry. He's the only one in Oregon who's got that award. He's the real deal.
I remember one day there was this tremendous racket coming from the back. It was just like explosions happening in the brewery, and kegs rolling around the room, and it sounded like a Donnybrook back there, between maybe the dishwasher and the brewer, but it was just John, getting comfortable back there.
It wasn't long before we started talking about our bootleg tape collections, and he started asking me about particular Grateful Dead shows and if I had a good copy.
Hey John, are you listening to February 9th, 1973? And he's like, you know this show? I'm like, yeah, I know this show.
He has a very unique look that he has always had that look.
His outfit is definitely one of his most iconic features for sure.
Extremely long beard and ponytail, kind of a force of nature.
So the only time I've ever seen John in pants, they were yellow rain pants that he bought at a gas station for $5.
I don't think I've ever seen him wear long pants.
Of course not. John, of course, has his washer and cowbells and everything.
Yes, always the washboard.
He has been known to go to concerts and bring the washboard and put it in the trunk just in case.
I'd never seen anybody actually play a washer besides, I don't know, maybe on Deliverance or something like that.
He's getting this award. What more can be said?
No, he's made, he's really good at what he does. He's passionate, and he's just one of those guys that, rock and rolls. So
he's a remarkable brewer in that he has a great ability to keep it all going and keep it together, keep innovating, and it takes a rare kind of person to pull that off.
When you really get down to it, when you talk about the roots of Northwest Brewing and what any kind of Northwest flavor is, John is actually a key part of that. Not to blow too much smoke up his skirt, but that's the truth. When you develop those beers, those are the sort of things that develop the flavors that became what regionally we drink.
He's stood the test of time, and he hasn't been thrown out of the state yet, and there's still time though. It's possible.
But now he started Ecliptic, and Ecliptic is just blowing up, and he's doing a lot of new things. The fact of the matter is his legacy isn't over yet. He's still building it 30 years on. The fact that he's still going to be there when other people have retired, There's going to be people who started brewing 4 years ago. Their careers are going to end before John's, and that's the truth.
It's like this is the best brewer in Oregon and has been so influential to everything that we have now that he vastly deserves this award.